Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's indeed a pleasure for me to be here this morning for the commissioning of the water mains and to ensure and to see how excited Mrs. Williams is, see it firsthand, for what has been delivered to them. I first of all would like to acknowledge the Executive Chairman of the Water and Sewage Corporation, Mr. Adrian Gibson, the Member of Parliament for Long Island. And just let me express my appreciation for the political maturity that you have shown and is showing. Because many don't. There's some amongst us, right here present, who doesn't have that, who still has that political immaturity. I don't appreciate what this all means. Why are you laughing, man? So I say that to you because I want you to also appreciate, and I hope that other members of the government take a page out of your book. Because at the end of the day, we are still all one. There are many islands that make up the Bahamas. Each has its distinctive features. But at the end of the day, we're still one Bahamas. Your F&M and PLP, they are DNAs, they're independents. But at the end of the day, we all have to adhere to ensuring that the common good is promoted. And that is why political maturity is necessary to ensure that things that make for peace, that builds up the common good, is pursued rather than those things that we dwell upon, that keeps us divided, that keeps us in a way where it instills animosity, envy, hate, angst, and anxiety. So I take my hat off to you, Mr. Gibson, for the demonstration of maturity that you're showing. And let me say that this water program is a component of a larger exercise that has been undertaken by the government of the Bahamas. And I emphasize government of the Bahamas, because it was in 2011 that a commissioning report was completed for the Family Island Water Programs, which identified all the islands, the necessary works that has to be done, and it also assigned the costs for those works to be done. It was left to finding the money. In fact, I dare say that the assessment that was done required the Bahamas government to find $104+ million to be able to effectively provide affordable, clean, potable water through all the communities of the Bahamas. $104 million. That is an onerous task to find. That was in 2011. The government between 2012 and 2017 was able to take that program, carve out some of it that was affordable for the government. And the emphasis was on Family Island and certain communities in New Providence. We negotiated a loan with the Commonwealth Development Bank, and they provided us with a loan of $31 million or 28 million to be able to execute the carve-out portion of the water improvement supply program that we want to do in the Family Islands. And the overall cost for that carve-out was $41 million. That I remember. And the government had to find the additional $11 or $12 million, whilst the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, would have provided the additional 28 to 30 million. And we identified areas in New Providence to provide clean water, Pinewood Gardens, Beauseant Hill, and another area, I think it's Beauseant Hill, another area, We went to Eleuthera, the areas in Eleuthera like Spanish Wells, Russell Island, parts of Rock Sound, parts of Tarpon Bay, and parts of North Eleuthera, Harbour Island, and we identified those areas. We identified what was necessary to complete the works in San Salvador. Went to Long Island, decided what had to be done in Long Island and Cat Island. All those works were in place because the funds are available for it to be done. The only difference is that the Bahamas government had to find a difference to ensure that the works were carried out. And so I was pleased to be a part of that exercise. And I was pleased to say, well, I happen to be sitting where I could say, let's start in San Salvador first. Cat Island was on the train, and now the member for Long Island is sitting in the chair. And he's not doing what he would not have done. Long Island is on the list. And we made sure that the money was there for Long Island. And so he decided, well, let's continue with the work that we started, and Long Island will get theirs here. And I'm certain Cat Island will be next. And I'm certain that Rum Keys also in that will be next. And that is what it's all about. And that's why I say that's what political maturity is all about. You know, for those of us who truly appreciated the necessity for clean, potable water, it has to do with our health. In fact, the government, the Bahamas government, has signed on to the climate change treaty, the Kyoto Report, the Paris Accord, and all of that came from the UN, what they call the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. And one of the goals that we have signed on to and that we are required to fulfill is goal number 6. That goal number 6 says that we need to ensure that each resident in our community has access to potable water, clean potable water. So SDG 6 speaks to clean potable water, access to it, and sanitation, which is another major challenge we have in the country that has to be addressed. That too was assessed, and I think that will cost you about $204 million now. Again, these are some of the things that small island development states like the Bahamas, we need to do. Because I've always maintained that the young boy who lives in Baintown or any part of New Providence or not to have access to services that a young boy in Scobin Town, the United States, don't have that access to. That has been our mantra in ensuring that we have the one Bahamas that we do have. And so I'm proud to be a part of this exercise today. I encourage us to continue with the work that we're doing. There's a lot more to be done to ensure that we provide to our citizens and residents alike, and those who visit us, the quality of services that we have obligated ourselves to provide by signing on to these accords that also move to assist in the climate changing world. And so with that, I thank you very much for having invited me. I applaud your political maturity, and I just trust that many will take a page out of your book. Thank you all very much.